Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician 84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 85. Let's kick this off, starting with 3 questions from Matt and Alison Welch. 1. What are you doing for Easter? Or by the time the question is answered, what did you do for Easter? Not much really. I did spend time with Emma and her son on Good Friday and Easter Saturday, whereas on Sunday I just worked. And then we had my brother and my sister-in-law over for dinner. We've still got their cats because they're doing some building work. We're having some building work done around their place, and it's not quite finished, so we've got their 2 cats for a bit longer. One of them is still right here, very content and happy on my bed. 2. Which Yu-Gi-Oh villain would have the highest chance of taking over the world if succeeded? Matt thinks Darts would have had the highest chance, while I think Sartorius from Yu-Gi-Oh GX would. Well, I've needed to think about this quite a lot. Kind of hard to say. I feel like it would be a tie between Zork, Rex Goodwin, and the King of the Underworld, um, or Don Thousand, or Zork. I should have given myself more time to think about this. Yeah, they were all very tough to defeat, like in their own rights. Like, for instance, it took the Egyptian gods combining together to beat Zork. You say needed to beat Rex Goodwin with Majestic Star Dragon, and then used that with the power of the Crimson Dragon to get rid of the King of the Underworld. Don Thousand required like humor and shock to beat him. With spiritual help from Kite. Whereas hardly anyone was able to beat Zork, despite the combined efforts, and it took Ray to defeat him eventually. I think based on how much everyone struggled though, I'm gonna say Zork, definitely. 3. Any thoughts and opinions on the new Speed Duel set, Streets of Battle City? This kind of took me for a surprise because Matt and I were really hoping for another GX set to release the Neo-Spacian and Neo-Fusion monsters, or even have a 5D set. I did think it was kind of random, yeah, considering that we've moved on to GX now. It'll be interesting to see what Battle City cards are in there. Hopefully there'll be something that can help my Dark Magician and Poker Knight decks. Considering that no matter what I do with my Dark Magician deck, I just can't seem to make it work. So I still need to keep figuring out how to make it work. Whereas Arcana, Poker Knights are hit and miss. Like sometimes I can get off good plays, sometimes I brick, sometimes it's sort of in the middle. Like I would keep seeing something like multiple Queen's Knights or multiple King's Knights, but none of the others, and as a result, I don't get my combos off, which is kind of frustrating. Um, Hopefully, there'll be something that would support it. But maybe we'll get something with the Neospatians and Neos monsters in the future. I don't know. Um, and I feel like it could still be a while before we get anything for 5D. Um, but I'm in no hurry to see any 5D stuff happen because I kind of like Speed Duels the way it is because it just feels like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! And GX Yu-Gi-Oh! All over again. Pretty much the way the game was before synchros exist, which, as I said time and time again, I preferred. Um, but we'll see. Next three questions are from Weber's 5. 1. I know about your quest for vengeance against the guys at local to use the bestial on Dark Magician. Oh, naturally, because I'm pretty sure I did tell you, or you did watch the video. Anyway, but do you have any vendettas against me? Well, before I answer the question, I must point out that it was just um, three of the people I wanted vengeance on who banished Dark Magician with a bestial. Um, Another one did it with both DD Crow and something else. I think it was a goatee card. I'm not sure. Whereas the other guy, who is my one remaining target, did it with Sword Soul Chengying. Um, Otherwise, I see where you're coming from. And to answer your question, um, I'm going to say no, but I'm thinking about whether or not I do after the last Royal Rumble we had. Like, for two reasons. One, you banished one of my Dark Magicians, even though I wasn't using that Dark Magician, because obviously Cal was playing my March 2011 Legendary Hero deck, whereas I was playing September 2011 Dark Magician. Um, and like in my eyes, an opponent banishing a Dark Magician is unforgivable. Um, Although, on the other hand, it wasn't me that controlled that Dark Magician, even though technically it is mine, and it was Hal playing the deck that it was played in. Um, I'm debating whether or not to come after you for that. I'm not sure. And the other reason, it wouldn't be a vendetta against you specifically, but more so Plunder Patrol, purely because Plunder Patrol just seems to have something against elemental heroes or elemental hero based decks. Because every time I take my elemental heroes against Plunder Patrols, I always lose badly against them. I mean, it doesn't help that elemental heroes are a mixed attribute deck, which you can take a lot of advantage of. Um, but then again, regardless of whether I'm playing elemental heroes or something else, um, it's like uh, anything I try to do just gets outright countered. Um, because, like I said before, plunder patrols are just too damn disruptive. Like, it's so disruptive that it might as well be a lockdown deck. Like, either way, it just does too many things that don't let anyone play. Like, hence why I hate them so much and never want to play against them. just infuriating. But that being said, though, it is quite tempting to bring like elemental heroes or some sort of elemental hero based deck against them and actually defeat plunder patrols with them once and for all. But that would be easier said than done, considering what I just talked about. I mean, the problem is, of course, like I said, elemental heroes are a mixed attribute deck, and plunder patrols are a terrible matchup for them. I mean, I have super poly, which kinda helps, but not really that much. Um, and it's like, oh my god, how do you beat this deck? It's impossible. Like, you just can't do shit against plunder patrols. I mean, yeah, you could argue that they also lose to wind decks, but the problem is they can just get around it with both plunder patrol booty and summoning the extra deck monsters through their proper procedures. I mean, literally, like, unless I have Chaos Hunter, Imperial Iron Ball, or the Winged Dragon of Ross Spear mode on hand, there's just no way to beat them. Anyway, I digress. Um, two, have you seen the new, uh, how do you say this? Biele, Bielemek Cratius? I probably completely butchered that word completely. In Dune, is the first Xyz to use spell counters. Interesting. But until you mentioned it, I have never heard of this card. So, uh, I know absolutely nothing about it. I'd have to be um, shown an image of it and be shown what its effects are. Um, but obviously, I know it does something with spell counters because you just told me. Um, Free. Are you free Friday, May 5th? Currently figuring out what I want to do for my birthday, but I'm also free Saturday, but being the coronation of King Charles I, I don't know how much stuff will be open. Um, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one because I'm not too sure I'll be free on either of those days, because there's a plan for Emma to come over and visit, like on that week, first week of May. Um, and on the Friday, she needs to get back home, so it could be tricky to do something. Um, I mean, there's lots of things we do want to do, but I don't think we'll be able to get them all done within the space of 4 or 5 days. Might have to be spread out. Um, I mean, I'll let you know of our plans closer to the time, but it might be tricky um, to be available on those 2 days. Um, Although, on a side note, I also plan to get out my channel's 16th anniversary video out on the same day. Yeah, I have the video made already, and I'm actually very proud. Um, it's something really cool. That's all I'll say. And the last 5 questions are from Gungner. Um, 1. In Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, every person from the future dies, and a massive catastrophe, um, I think that's meant to say, broke down humanity in a degenerator. Do you think that our humanity is going down the same way? Climactic things, atomic energy, etc. Well, this isn't really something I generally talk about. Um, but yeah, there is a chance that could happen. Especially since we are partially responsible for global warming. Um, that's a big problem, which could get worse if we don't do something to prevent it. Um, as well as starting stupid wars. Um, I mean, but I guess to answer your question, this is a possibility unless we make changes for the better and prevent things like this from happening. Two, I sent you an Earthbound Immortal deck list a few months ago. Did you make some changes or consider the synchro version of it? I actually kind of forgot that you did that until you mentioned it, not gonna lie. Um, well, I have made changes to my online version, whereas um, the real life version hasn't changed. I've thought about changing it, but I just don't know if I can be bothered to get the parts to make these changes, considering it's a deck that I want to sell. Um, but in my online build, uh, I did include the Numeron package. I figured that would help it out quite a lot. It helps my Egyptian gods and wicked gods. I guess I'll bring it up real quick. One sec. And yeah, here we are. This is the online build of Earthbound. I'm never too sure about including a lot of the stuff from Legendary Duelist 5. Don't know how easy it is to use and pull anything off with them. Um, but this is basically what I've come up with. Um, yeah, like I said, I made it in a similar way to my Egyptian gods and wicked gods, and figured uh, this would be a much easier way to play them. I haven't tried it out yet, though, but you could see this in action in the Dark Richician's deck Ultimate Championship, which I've still yet to prepare for. Um, Bree, will you play the Yusei Synchron deck with the new support from Dueling Nexus? Um, I'm gonna say yes and no. Um, I don't plan on making a Synchron deck, but I do still have my Stardust Junk deck. Um, the the plan is, like I keep saying, is to get a box of Dueling Nexus and get all the new Synchron support that's in there and put that in my Stardust Junk deck and upgrade it with all of those cards. Um, or if not, then try and pick the cards up in trades and stuff. Um, I don't know what ratios I'm going to use. I haven't the foggiest where to start. Um, but that is the plan. Four, are you planning to play that new rank 8 spellcaster Xyz monster that works with spell counters in your Blue Eyes deck? You're the second person who's asked me that now. I'm assuming that's the same monster that Weber's 5 mentioned in his second question. But like I said, I've never heard of this monster. I've not seen it, and besides something with spell counters, I don't know what its effects are. Um, but if it's a rank 8 and can help Blue Eyes, then I'll give it a whirl, see what I can do with it. And question 5. Did you see the new volcanic support? Pain 96 finally got his wish granted after 1,505 days. Yes, I have seen the new support. I did see uh, the post about it, and to be honest, I'm not really happy about it. Feel like I'm the only one that doesn't want volcanics to get more support, considering that Blaze Accelerator Reload made me hate that deck a lot. They're just annoying to play against now. Like, literally, all they ever do is just send multiple scatter shots, like every single turn, destroy my monsters, burn me for 1500, recycle them, and then just do the same thing again, whether it's on the field or being banished from the graveyard. Like, it's just so annoying. Um, like, literally, if that card was either never made or just outright banned, I wouldn't have a problem with volcanics, and I would still really like them and think it's a cool GX archetype deck, but Blaze Accelerator Reload just ruined it for me. And I'm not looking forward to seeing what they'll do with this new support. Um, I'm probably going to get a dislike or two for hating on volcanics, but hey, it's my opinion, okay? I have every right to my own opinion. Um, but yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. And on that note, that is it for questions in this episode. Thank you very much for your guys' questions. And if you have any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening, UK time. So be sure to get your questions in before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks again. Stay safe. And now there's, I guess, 15 episodes or weeks away from number 100. See you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.